What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks, back with our weekly Palantir update video where we take a look at how Palantir stock traded this past week, some key support and resistance levels that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Palantir stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Palantir are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me hit record and we will get right into it. As you guys know, if you've seen my videos, right, we saw a monster week for Palantir, mostly due to what we saw on Friday where the stock broke out over 25% on the day. And just, earlier that week, I'd been kind of talking about what we were expecting in Palantir stock, and we did expect a little bit of a breakout, and I'm really happy that we finally got to see that. So, let's take a look at the 5-day chart and we'll see kind of what we see with the stock and the way it traded. Now, this is the 15th. Remember that we had a 4-day week because of MLK Day. So let's take a look at, how we started. So Palantir for a long time, and I'm sure if you've traded it or invest in it, you know what I'm talking about. It pops and then it fades. It pops and then it fades, and that's what we saw this week. But we weren't too worried because of the pattern that we saw, right? So even the red days that we had, we were okay with because we saw, okay, this is actually good for us because it's sticking to the bull pennant that's forming, which means we could just see a breakout at the end of this pennant, right? So a little bit of gains that we don't see now could lead to big gains down the line, and that's exactly what happened here. So if we take a look at 19th, right, pushed up, faded, flat. Pushed up a little, faded, rejected, flat. Pushed down, pretty much flat, tried to push up but couldn't do it. Friday, we went from 25, broke out of this 27, and this 27 level was important. I'll show you on the daily chart as well because that is the upper end of our bull pennant. If you take a look here, right, this downward coming line is that this top half of that bull pennant, right? So the first time we hit it on the 15th, which is again the Friday before, rejected. The other two times we couldn't even make it up there. But on Friday, that's the level that I was watching to see, look, we are pushing up so fast. Do we get rejected by the bull pennant, or is this the actual breakout? And that was the actual breakout, right? So we broke above this 27, we broke above our next level. But what I do like seeing is it didn't just straight up, right? It went up, came down, bounced and pushed up. Similarly with the next level that we had in the 2947s, it went up, pushed down, bounced, and then push up. It pushed up, it broke through our levels, yes. But the fact that it really kind of validated our levels by going up, coming back down, hitting against our level, and then bouncing up gives me comfort in the levels that we have on the chart moving up. We've had these levels for a while, so it's not like I'm drawing it after the fact, right? In case someone goes, what's the point of charting? Well, here is the point of charting, right? You know where we could get rejected. You know what a good consolidation point is. You know what could be good support. Now, yes, all of those could have been resistances and we broke through all of them. That's great too. But if you have an idea of what that level is, when it starts to turn around here for a couple minutes, you have a little bit more comfort, right? For those 4 or 5 candles on the 5-minute chart, so those 20-30 minutes, that we could see a bounce off of this level before we push up. That's the point there, right? So let's go to the daily chart now. And here is exactly what we saw, right? So we saw this line coming in from the 33s kind of inward. We saw this line coming in from the 20s upward, which meant the stock was starting to trade in a much smaller and smaller wedge, right? This bull pennant that we saw forming. And I mean, not going to say I called it because I definitely did not. On Thursday, I made a video, hey, do we see a breakout coming? And in that video, I said, here's the levels that I'm watching out for. It needs to hold this bottom line. It needs to hold this top line. And maybe we consolidate for a little bit before breaking out. But if you saw that video, you knew that if we broke above this 27 line, that we likely saw a breakout. And that's exactly what happened on Friday. When we were pushing up, I watched this level, this 2680s level, which again, if we go to the Friday chart, right, that's where we hung out for most of the day. Not most of the day, most of the beginning of the day, right? Then we started running. But for the first couple hours, we were just around this 2680s level. It looked like another boring consolidation day, which is, again, totally fine because long-term plays that breakout. But then we pushed up towards the next level, right? Then we pushed up towards the next level. So when we pushed up towards that first next level, right, that's when I knew that we were already above this this breakout, right? This wedge pattern that we had forming. So anyway, all that to say, we saw a great breakout on Friday. Now the question becomes, what is the level of support and resistance that we have moving forward? Well, first things first, the only real level of resistance that we have is the all-time high here in the 3350s. That's the next level that Palantir stock has to reach for. And then after that, it's anyone's guess on where Palantir stock goes. So that's what I'm watching on the upside. On the downside, what we are watching is, where it could see a little bit of a support. And I think that level is, the first level is kind of right here, right there in the 30s, right? $30.30s. Because of the couple candles there that we saw that, struggled to kind of break through. And then when it broke through, it found good support. And then also, if we scroll back all the way to this action going on early December, what we saw in the pre-market, it really was not able to hold at or above that level, or and start to push, and it started to push down from that point, right? So that is something that it gives me a little bit of support in that could be our first level of support if we start to see a little bit of a sell-off. I personally think that being up 25% on the day, a little bit of profit taking is normal, it's healthy. So I would not be surprised if we see a little bit of a pullback, and then we kind of find support either at this 30, 39, 30s, maybe even like flat 30, and then we start to push up. Now, if we don't stop at the 30s, we've got the 29.47 level. If we break below 30, we've got the 29.47 level, and then the 28.05 as well. I do think, again, I'm long Palantir. I continue to hold my Palantir leaps, expecting it to, do well. So again, continuing to hold, and I'm in it for the long term. So if we see a little bit of a pullback, it would not scare me. That being said, we're not too far from all-time highs. So if we push up, it's about $1 away, and we could, definitely see that happening sometime soon as well. But, a little bit of a pullback. Doesn't have to be all the way to the 30.39, right? Maybe it's higher like we saw with Apple and then pushed up. But, would not surprise me if we saw that. So great breakout. Hope some of you guys were able to take advantage of it. Going into the future, now it's important for us to see how this continues. Do we see, this huge breakout that it had, the next day it gapped up and then pushed back down, right? So it'll be really important enough for us to see how tomorrow is, and then that'll kind of determine the rest of the week. If we find support and then maybe have some small green days, maybe it starts to push up again, or we see a little bit of a sell-off, and then it's a matter of where we find support. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos. Let me know how you guys are trading Palantir, and I'd love to chat with you guys down in the comment section. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.